Hey everyone, and welcome back to today's video. I hope you guys are all doing well. I got 5 different pieces that you can make in about 15 minutes or so. We're gonna time ourselves. Just keep in mind as I'm explaining that might throw off my rhythm, but they're really easy, and once you got them down pat and you understand the concept, you will be able to make them. So cute little page spread, very easy, using scraps to make some cute little pockets. You can further embellish these if you like. I did 2 off camera and then I did 1 in the video. Belly band that you can glue onto your page. Have the belly band underneath and then open it up for some writing space or use it as a bookmark, whatever you like. I have tons and tons of envelopes. These I intend to glue down straight onto my page, but they're like little scrappy notebooks. I have a lot of these random pieces of paper in my stash and tons of envelope, and I wanted to be able to use them. So we have these. I have a lot of paper packs that have 4x6 cut aparts that I don't know what to do with. So I made these hidden writing spots. So they open up and they have writing in the back, or you can do them where the writing is in the front. It's however you decide. And you can leave them floating in a pocket. You can clip it onto a page. Or glue it straight down, whatever you decide. And again, with those 4x6 cut aparts that I really don't know what else to do with them, I made them into these journaling cards that have additional pockets that you can stick tickets in and fun ephemera, maybe another journaling card or some other cute little items in there. So if you're interested in learning how to do these, stick around and we're going to get started. All right, so what we're going to need is a paper trimmer, or if you are blessed enough to be able to cut straight, some scissors, obviously your glue, some ink if you want to ink your edges, corner rounder if you so choose, and or a decorative edge punch, which, all right, so each one takes about less than 5 minutes if you have everything that you need. They are meant to be quick and easy. So we're going to start with this one. And I pretty much measured to the average size of a journal. And mine's are usually about 5.5 inches. And this one, I cut it down to 5. So I have these 6x6 pieces. So I'm going to cut that off and I'm going to give it a different kind of edge. I want a square edge. So we're going to cut that. And this is all made out of scraps. It's something that you can just quickly do when you're a little pressed for time. Really don't have much time to craft, but you want to be creative. So these boxes, I believe I cut them to be 2.5 by 2.5. Yes, I did. Easy. I just like this one because it coordinated. So we're going to quickly cut this down to 2.5 by 2.5 as my blade keeps popping out. And we're going to need 2. So that one is about there. And then this one is about here. Okay. Then you use scraps and you make more scraps. And I'm going to use a smaller one here for this one. And this is where you would ink if you want to ink. And right off the bat, we are quickly moving along. I think this is one of the most easiest ones, and you can really get a lot of scraps taken care of as well. So that's one. I think I'm gonna glue that one up there. Just want to knock that white out. Okay. So I hope you guys are doing well. I'm gonna glue this down on 3 sides. The sides, the bottom, and the other side. Okay. So this is gonna change the direction. So I'm gonna have to change that one to be this way, because it is directional. So this is gonna have to go this way. And then I'm gonna overlap them just a bit. And we're gonna put that one there. And I did pull out some tags. I thought I did. I did. So one can go there. This one can go here, obviously when it fully glues. But there is our first one. Quick and easy. What was that? Like a minute? And then these are the ones I did off camera. So there's that one. Okay, the next one we're gonna do is the hidden writing spot. Now I have tons of these 6x6s that I 4x6 cut aparts that I never really know what to do with. So I decided that I wanted to start using them and take the prettier ones that were neutral, and I'm just evening these out to make sure that they're even. And I'm gonna cut this at about 2.5 inches. And that's gonna be my pull. Make it a little smaller. Let's make this one a little smaller. Let's make it 2.25. I'm gonna cut through both of them. Okay. And then we're gonna take this and we're gonna glue it on 3 sides. And we're gonna match them up. Now I put the decorative, I want it to be white on the back. I don't want to show anything else. Just want it to be white. Now these are these 5x8 index cards. I just cut them in half. And now I'm gonna measure probably around there, right? Let's keep it really simple. Let's say 3 inches wide. I'm gonna slide this in here. Right? I'm gonna take it all the way as far as I wanna go without letting it catch to the glue. Okay. And then I'm gonna take this one and I'm gonna glue it to the top part. So this one's gonna go here. And I'm gonna line this up. There we go. As close as I can. I'm gonna give that a press. Then I'm gonna pull it out because I don't want it to catch. And then I'm gonna come in and glue the other half to the back. Ooh. It's chilly today in New York. There we go. I'm not gonna get too close to that edge. I'm gonna make sure it's white on white. And I'm gonna line that up. As best you can. Give it a good press. I want to round the corners on the top part and the bottom. Gotta take a look which one's the bottom. And then we're gonna slide this in. And if you want, you can even slightly, I do it a little smaller. It makes it easier to slide in. and the corners don't catch. So here we are, and we're just gonna slide that in, and there is your second. Now if you want to decorate it with anything, you take a moment. What do I have here? I have some pre-made ephemera. How's that look? Doesn't really look like it goes because it looks vintagey, but I don't have anything on the bright side here. I think it looks cute. You can always go and decorate it. I'll see if there's something else that I can put there. All right, that's number 2. Number 3, staying with the 4x6 cut aparts. I don't find myself using these, but I do know I like that base, and I do want a little bit of this green and gold, but not too much to show. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut 1 inch off of the one in the middle. So I'm gonna put it in my trimmer. I'm gonna cut that down. That's gonna go there. And then I'm gonna cut 2 inches off of this one. And that's gonna be my top part. Okay, more scraps. I'm gonna get my my circle punch. I'm just gonna line these 2 up and sort of go in the middle-ish and give it a press. I will ink these edges, but I can ink the rest after. And we're just gonna glue it down, easy peasy. Okay, and then you can always trim up the edges, make sure that they're even. There we go. And then this one is gonna sit right on top. Now you have a journal card that you can journal in the back. And I can see I need to trim. You can journal in the back and tuck little things on the inside. And this one, I'm just gonna give it a little trim right around there. There we go. Now we're even. And then I'm gonna round the corners, and I'll come back and ink them later. And there we have that. What can I put there? That seems a little too bright for this one. Huh. Okay, we'll figure something out. I have lots of pre-made stuff there. So there is that one. Here's the one I did off camera. So we already have 3 done. We have our little base page, we have our hidden writing spot, and we have journal cards. Let's do this one. These are belly bands that you can add to your book or use it as a bookmark. Ooh, did I glue it? And, or if it's on your page, you can pull it out. Right, it's glued down in your book. You can pull it out like that and like this and be able to write and still tuck something underneath. Now these, I left myself space so I can cut it if I need to. But I believe this one measures, to start, it measures 8.5 by 2 3/4. So we're gonna use those long pieces of scraps. So I have 2 here, and these measure about 12 inches long. So I have one for the front, one for the back. And we're gonna trim it down to be 8 1/4. Right? And we're gonna trim this now to be, holding them together, 2 3/4 ish. Okay, so we have our 2 pieces. You're gonna need a piece of copy paper, which I think I have right here. And what I did with the copy paper was taking it long, 11 inches. I turned it around and folded it in half. Or did I cut it down? I don't even remember. I think I cut it down to be, let's see. Just gonna fold one. Oh, I didn't cut it down at all. Okay, so you're gonna fold it in half, then take one side, bring it back onto itself, flip it over and do the same thing to the other side and bring it onto itself. And then what we're gonna do is glue this one right on top, right? And we're gonna trim that down. So let's glue this down and we can shorten the height. Okay. I'm gonna bring this to me so I can see. And we're gonna line up the edge. Right there. I'm gonna flip it over and take a look to make sure that I'm not catching anything else I'm not supposed to. Flip it over and we're gonna do exactly the same thing. And you can make this any size, but just remember you gotta adjust your paper, your copy paper on the inside to match. And then I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna adjust it, match it as best I can. And then I'm gonna let it drop. I'm gonna come in with my scissors and I'm gonna trim to the edge. And there is your hidden writing spot belly band. And I'm using Elmer's glue, so it's gonna take a little minute. It'll curl up the paper, but eventually it will. And you can put something like that on the cover. That's the second one. The fourth one. Here's the last one, which is this one. Okay, and this is made out of an envelope. So I am going to grab my pieces of paper. So I have my envelope, and I think this is the one that takes the most time. I'm gonna open it up carefully. Okay. And I'm gonna cut off these 2 sides here. Right along that line. That's one. And we all get a lot of envelopes. At least I do. I find them in bins. Sometimes I get them at 50 cents. And I really don't care for the cards, but I'll take the envelopes. All right, so that is our closure. That's what we're gonna use for our closure. So on the inside, we need to cover the flaps. So here is one. And we'll trim it off. Okay, and we're gonna work it in pieces. You could do this assembly style. I did it with a glue stick. And I'm going to get close to that fold, but I'm not going to overlap it. Give that a good press. And then I'm going to come and trim it off. And this is all made using my scrap cutoffs. Okay, and come around that corner. And then do that. Okay, so that's one side. We're gonna do the same thing for the other side. And I'm just gonna glue this little piece down. Right? Does it fit? Yes. That's the hardest part. Finding pieces that fit. Okay. And I'm gonna match this up close to that bend without passing over. It's just like kissing on it. I don't know why I'm using my left hand, guys. My left hand has a mind of its own. Give that a good press. I think out of all of them, this is the only one that takes a little bit longer, but it's worth it. The other ones go so fast. I'm gonna trim that. And then I'm gonna come around the corner here. Okay, and right there. All right, the inside is just about done. I'm gonna finish it off before we move on to the outside. So I got some pieces of paper here that I thought might go well. Just gonna alternate them. There we go. I'm gonna bring them all into this corner. And we're gonna double check my height. This is about 7¼ inches. So I'm gonna cut it down to 7. Right, they're all lined up on this side. 7 inches. Give it a cut. And then my width measures about 5 1/4, so I'm gonna bring it to about 5 1/8. Right around there. Okay. And I lost my blade. Did you hear it fall? That is what's gonna sit right in here. So I'm gonna bring this like this. I'm gonna get it in the center-ish. All right. And then I'm gonna grab my stapler and I'm gonna staple it. Okay. Then I'm gonna grab another offcut, like so, and that's gonna cover that. That's gonna sit right on top. And it's gonna cover those staples. Now, if you want, you can fully cover the envelope as well on the back if you just want to tuck it into a book. I'm gonna glue mine down. So that's why I'm not concerned with staples and that kind of stuff on the back. So there is that. Let me find my blade. Not that I'm gonna need it, but I will forget it, and I have puppies. All right, so there is that. Now we're gonna cover the outside. So I have, let's see what I have. I have this piece that I can use there. So I'm gonna open it up. And we're gonna glue that down. bring it as close to that edge as you can without going over. Give it a good press. And then we're going to give it a trim. There we go. Sorry if this pattern is a little too much. It does seem a little busy, but I like it. Okay, sorry about the car. So now we have that, and then we're gonna do the same thing on this side. So I have this piece. Now if it comes up short, don't worry about it. I'll show you what you can do. Oh my goodness, the horn. Sorry about that. Yeah, there we go, finally. Oh, maybe not. I spoke too soon. All right, we're gonna bring that as close to the edge as we can. And this one happens to go all the way, but we're gonna see if I got a little bit of that white spot there. Because if we do, I'll show you what we can do to get rid of it. So we're gonna come around here. And I'm timing this, so I don't want to stop recording because of the horn. All right. But it seems like, so you can see I have a little bit of that white there. You can cut that off and make it straight. You can make it round, corner round it if you want. But we're gonna need a closure, right? So what I did was I have these decorative scallop punches, hand punches. And I think we're going to go with this pattern since I still have the scrap. I might as well use it. And what I did was I punched out two. Ooh, I feel so accomplished. I got every little bit out of this bit. There we go. And then we're going to glue these together. Okay. And we're going to match them up. There we go. Give it a moment to catch. And then this is what we're going to use to be able to tuck that in. So I know I need to at least come up that much. Give myself a little bit of wiggle room. All right. This is how I do it. I match myself up to where there's no glue. I hold it and then I bring it down where I think it would sit. And then I remove it just to double check that I don't have any glue there. And that is it, guys. That's the 5 easy ephemera pieces that you can do in about 15 minutes, give or take. I've had a little bit of, minus the intro and the explanation, but once you get it, you can see it. So here we are. Right, little writing pieces that you can add into your journal. That's the one we did together. Here's the ones that I did on my own. Belly band, hidden writing spot, or bookmark, however you want to utilize it. That's the ones I did on my own. Here's the one that we did together. Using the journal cards, the 4x6 journal cards that come in our paper packs, never know what to use them for. We made some journaling cards that has pockets on them. So here's the one we did together. Here's the ones that I did on my own. We did our hidden writing spots. So here's the ones that I did on my own. Here's the one that we did together using the same 4x6 journaling cards. And then a cute little spread with some multi-pockets, the one we did together and the ones that I did on my own. So there they are. I hope you enjoy them. Give it a try. Quick and easy makes. You can easily mass make these. And utilizing your scraps, get through most of them. So there they are. All right, I hope you give it a try. Let me know what you think. As always, stay blessed, stay healthy, stay safe, and I'll see you real soon.